Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 7 already. First week in. Day 7 of 4 weeks to feel better. 30 days of inspiration with Spinning Arrow Yoga. I'm Alex. I'm the founder of Spinning Arrow Yoga. I'm a registered yoga teacher. I also do a lot more. I do a lot more things, many more things. So do pop over to my website or check me out on Facebook if you haven't done so already. Today we have a soft and gentle yoga practice to soothe the body, the mind and the soul. So I'm going to get started, and you will need a mat or a towel and something to sit on if you just to make you a little bit more comfortable. So either a nice big cushion, or I have a funny top of a stool that I've dismantled, or you could sit on a bolster if that's more comfortable for you, and we will get to it. Okay, lovely. So first thing we're going to do is start in a lying down position. So making your way onto your mat or your towel or your rug, whatever you have handy, and just coming down to lie on your back. So making sure that the shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. There's lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. The neck is long. The shoulder blades are nestling down into the floor. And you can either rest your hands down by your sides, palms facing up, or you can rest them on your body. Whatever feels more comfortable, more natural for you. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides. And we'll just take a deep breath in. And sigh out through the mouth. And when you're ready, just come to your natural, spontaneous breath. Just allow the breath to move into the body and out of the body without strain, without any tension. Just allowing that breath to move with ease. And if you feel like your chin is jutting out and you're able to see almost like directly behind you, just gently tuck that chin in, just lengthening the back of the neck there, creating lots of space. So just observe the breath. Observe the pace of the breath. Observe the depth of the breath. How deep is your breath? Notice where you breathe into. Where does your breath reach in the body? Are you breathing into the top of the chest? Are you breathing further down into the lungs? Are you breathing into the belly? Where does that chest reach the breath reach in your body? Just observe. Don't try to change anything. No judgment here. And when you're ready, bringing both hands below the belly button, below the navel. And as you breathe in, feel the breath expanding into the belly, blowing the belly up like a balloon. And as you exhale, let that belly fall back down to the earth. Breathing through the nose, in to expand the belly. And out, let the belly fall back to the spine and soften. Into the belly, and let it fall back on the exhale. way. And we're not forcing the breath into the belly, we're just allowing the belly to expand. And this belly breathing is a way to connect with our parasympathetic nervous system, the part of our nervous system that controls our ability to rest and digest. When we activate the parasympathetic, we tell our bodies we're in a safe space. We don't need to run anywhere. We don't need to fight anybody off. We are safe. We are secure. We are contained. And now bring one hand to the base of the rib cage, just below where your bra strap would be, or just so your hand rests on the base of the rib cage, so you can feel those final ribs. And as you inhale, feel the breath expand into that space underneath that top hand. And as you exhale, the hand on the belly, feel the belly muscles begin to contract and draw in on the exhale. As you inhale, you expand into the chest. And as you exhale, the belly gently draws in. The muscles underneath that lower hand begin to activate. Inhale, send the breath into the base of the lungs. And exhale, draw in that lower belly. A couple more times in this breath. Inhale, expanding into the rib cage. Exhale to draw in the lower belly. One more time. And then allow the hands to rest back at your sides on the floor. And just come back to your natural breath. So you might notice the breath has slowed a little bit. You might notice that you're breathing a little bit more deeply. You might notice that you're breathing into a different part of your body now. So the breath that we just used is our chest to abdomen breath. And that's the breath we're going to use throughout the practice tonight. And engaging those lower belly muscles on the exhale just protects the spine as we move through our movements. So we're just going to begin to connect our breathing with our movements. We always begin our movements with the breath and let the breath guide our movements. So as we inhale, begin the inhale and then begin to bring the arms up overhead, reaching them all the way to the floor, expanding into the chest. And as you exhale, draw in the lower belly and bring those arms all the way back down to the sides. Take the length of the inhale to reach the arms up and overhead to the floor. And the length of the exhale to bring the arms all the way back down to the sides. So we're matching that movement and breath. The breath is guiding the movement. One more. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring the hands back down to the sides. Lovely. Okay. On an inhale, bring the knees up to 90 degrees. The legs there up to 90 degrees. Resting the hands gently on the knees. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, draw in the lower belly and draw those knees towards the chest. The hands are just there for guidance. We're not pulling on the knees with the hands. We're using that core. Inhale, bring the knees back out to 90. Exhale to draw in the lower belly. Draw those knees in towards the chest. Inhale. Allow those knees to come back out. Exhale to draw the knees in. And inhale to extend the knees back to 90. One more time. Exhale, draw those knees in. This time a gentle hug, grasping the knees with the hands and drawing those knees in towards the chest. Remembering to gently tuck the chin in, that back of the neck is long. Releasing the shoulders down away from the ears. And feel that gentle stretch in the back of the body. On an inhale, release and bring the knees back down, feet back down to the floor. Placing the feet back down, knees bent, arms out to T. Palms can face down, spreading the fingers wide. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, allow the knees to drop towards the left side. Join in that lower belly. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Exhale, the knees can fall to the right side gently. Join the lower belly. On an inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Exhale, the knees fall to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, the knees fall to the right. Inhale back to center. This time, exhale, let the knees fall to the left and gently gaze over towards the right hand. And we'll just hold this twist just for another breath, breathing into the chest, sending the breath into the depths of the lungs. And exhale, gently draw in the belly, protect the spine as we inhale and come back to center. Release the belly. And exhale, allow the knees to fall to the right and the gaze to gently be towards the left fingertips. Another breath here, expanding into the chest on the inhale. And gently drawing in the lower belly on the exhale. On the next inhale, bring the knees back up to center and the gaze towards the ceiling. We're going to make a little diamond shape with the fingers and the thumb. Place that diamond just underneath the sacrum, just at the bottom of the spine. As we inhale, pop the feet up off the floor. And as you exhale, gently roll up to a seat. Okay. So if you're comfortable on the floor, you can stay on the floor, or you can sit up on the cushion, or on a folded blanket. Just giving yourself a little bit of height there. We'll just allow the knees to be below the hips. So if you're comfortable in a cross-legged position, just a normal cross leg, go for that. If you want to bring one heel in front of the other, that's quite a nice position to be in if you've got a little bit more flexibility in the hips. If you want to come into half lotus, bringing one foot to the hip crease, again, that's a nice place to be. I don't encourage you at this time to come into full lotus. We're not really very warm yet, so half lotus is really as far as you want to go right now. Okay. We're just going to do some gentle neck stretches just to release some tension in the neck. Okay, so we'll take a nice deep inhale. Rooting down through the sit bones. Feel those two little bones underneath the bottom. Take an inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. As we exhale, roll those shoulders down the spine, broaden through the front of the chest. And we want to accentuate the length in the spine throughout practice tonight. So imagine you have a little string attached to the top of your head, and somebody's just gently tugging on that string. So it's encouraging you to really grow up through the spine. Take a nice deep inhale here, expanding into the chest. And as you exhale, allow the chin to drop towards the chest without hunching the body forwards, keeping strong and tall through the spine. Inhale back to center. Exhale to look over the right shoulder. We're not forcing anything here, just as far as your body wants to go. Inhale back to center. Exhale to look over the left shoulder this time. Inhale back to center. Exhale to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Allow the shoulders to relax down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. And inhale back to center. One more time, dropping the chin to the chest, keeping the shoulders down the back and the spine long. Feeling that release into the back of the neck, maybe down into the shoulders, maybe even down into the upper back. And on your next inhale, bring the head back up to center. Exhale, release the hands down to the sides. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead. As we exhale, bring the right hand to the floor and reach up and over, as if you're reaching up and over a fence. Stretching with that left fingertips. Draw the lower belly in, protect the spine as we inhale back up to center. Exhale, reaching up and over to the left. Reaching through those right fingertips, allow the left shoulder to relax down. Draw the lower belly in, inhale, come back up to center. Exhale again, reaching up and over to the right. Right shoulder relaxes down. Feeling that space in the left side of the body. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, up and over to the left. Feeling that space in the right side of the body. Sitting that right hip down into the floor. And inhale back to center. This time take an exhale, bring the left hand to the right knee. Bring the right hand behind you into a gentle seated twist. Inhale back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, gently twisting to the left. Inhale back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, gently twisting to the right. Draw that lower belly in. Inhale to lengthen through the crown of the head in this twist. Exhale, twisting from the upper back. See if you can just gently Draw that lower belly in, making space for a bit more of a twist there. Inhaling back to center, arms overhead. And exhale, bringing that right hand to the left knee. Gently twisting. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, through the crown of the head. Exhale, gently drawing the lower belly, making space to gently twist from the upper back, spiraling those ribs round. Inhaling back up to center, arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to reach the heart down towards the floor. When the hands reach the floor there, take a nice deep inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, shoulders away from the ears. And as you exhale, allow the heart to soften down towards the floor. Try to keep nice length in that spine, so we're not rounding the back here, we're really lengthening. Keeping those hips seated down on the floor, not lifting the bum. Exhale to draw in the lower belly, and this time just gently allow the head to move down towards the floor. Here it's fine to have a little bit of a curve in the spine. Just allow the back to relax. On your next exhale, draw in the lower belly. Protect the spine. As you inhale, press into the floor, reaching through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine to sit all the way back up. Lovely. We'll change the cross of the legs. So your other leg comes either on top if you're in half lotus, or in front if you're just in a nice cross-legged position. Again, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, reaching that heart forward, leading with the heart. Take an inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Shoulders down away from the ears, and as you exhale, bring the heart down towards the floor. Breathing into the back of the body, into the outsides of the hips. You might notice that one hip is a little bit tighter than the other. That's absolutely natural. Just breathe into that space, and as you exhale, try to release a little bit of that tension, a little bit of that tightness, a little bit of that holding. Exhale to draw in the lower belly. Inhale, press into the hands, reaching through the crown of the head to sit all the way back up. Lovely. Bringing the hands behind you, tense the fingertips. Fingertips facing backwards. The hands are pointing backwards. Inhale to roll the shoulders open and lift the heart to the ceiling. So just a gentle extension of the back. And we're moving from the upper back here. Creating space in the front of the chest. And exhale, coming back to center. Lovely. Okay. Coming to the hands and the knees now. Making your way there. If you have tender wrists, I'll just invite you to roll your mat or your towel over. Maybe once, maybe a couple of times, just to give a little bit more padding there. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. So bringing the knees underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Reaching through the crown of the head, shoulders down away from the ears. Finding a nice neutral spine, so feel a nice, a gentle arch in that lower back. Whatever's natural for your back. As we inhale, draw the shoulder blades together and allow the chest to sink towards the floor without bending into the elbows, okay? So you have a soft bend in the elbows, but it's moving in the upper back here. As we exhale, draw those shoulder blades apart, allowing the back to arch and allowing the chin to tuck towards the chest, pressing into the floor with the hands, drawing that lower belly in. Inhale, drawing those shoulder blades together. Moving in that upper back, feeling those shoulders start to loosen. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades apart. Gentle arch in the back. Inhale, draw those shoulder blades together. And exhale, pushing into the floor with the hands, with the tops of the feet. Really connecting there, drawing that lower belly in as we round the spine. One more time. Inhale. Draw the shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, push into the floor, creating space in the back of the body. Inhale, we're coming back to neutral. And as you exhale, send those hips back to the heels in child's pose. Allow the forehead to come towards the floor. If that's not comfortable for you, you can't get there, maybe pop a cushion between the bottom and the heels, so in this space here. Maybe widen the knees a little bit, just allowing a bit more space for you to settle that chest down between the thighs. Finding a comfortable position here in child's pose. And this is the pose that I would encourage you, invite you to come into at any time during practice when you feel it's just a little bit too much or you don't want to go into a pose. This is just a nice, gentle position to come into, just to allow the body and the mind to regulate and the nervous system to regulate. So as we're here, send the breath into the back of the body. Feel like the skin on the back of the body is expanding. Really creating space here, space to breathe, space to move. Lovely. When you're ready, spreading the fingers nice and wide, reaching the hands forward a little bit further than they maybe were a minute ago. And as you inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. As you exhale, tuck the toes and gently lift the hips up and back. So if you take a quick glance at the screen, you can see that my knees are a little bit bent, but my back is nice and long. That's where you want to be. We want to accentuate and emphasize the spine in our yoga practice. Doesn't matter if you can't get your heels down to the floor. It doesn't matter if you can't get your legs straight. A healthy spine is a healthy person. So that's what we want to focus on throughout our practice. As you inhale, come back to hands and knees. And as you exhale, send those hips back to child's pose. Inhale, spread the fingers wide, come up to hands and knees. Exhale, tuck the toes, lifting the hips up and back. Inhale, back to hands and knees, letting the head stay in line with the spine. And as you exhale, send the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, back to all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes, lifting the hips up and back to down dog. Lovely. We're going to be here for about 3 breaths. So walking out your dog here. Pedaling the feet. Stretching into the backs of the legs. Allowing the shoulders to release away from the ears. So they're sliding down the spine. Or up the spine. The fingers are spread lovely and wide. The biceps are wrapping in towards the ears. So we feel that engagement of the arms. The spine is long. Feel that energy moving from the hands all the way up the spine to the hips, and send those hips diagonally away from the hands. Exhale, draw that lower belly in, and on an inhale, look forward between the hands, a nice generous bend in the knees, and walk up to meet the hands, coming into a forward fold. Exhale into this forward fold. Again, the knees can be gently bent. They don't have to be straight here. If you can get them straight, go for it, but don't push anything. We want the feet to be about hip distance apart. So if you put your fists together and just place them in between the big toes, that's about your hip distance. Exhale to join the belly and allow the torso to rest on the thighs. That's why I have my knees bent. Early in practice, we're not wanting to push anything. Allow the head to relax. Allow the arms to relax. The upper body is heavy. Breathe into the belly here. On your next exhale, draw that belly in. As you inhale, imagine sitting back into a chair. Bring the arms up in line with the ears and bring the body up to a nice kind of 45-degree angle. Make sure the knees aren't over the toes. You should still be able to see your toes. Shoulders relax down away from the ears. And try not to stick the bottom out. Keeping that nice length in the spine. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, gently dive back into your forward fold. Draw that lower belly in. Inhale, sit back into your chair. Bring the arms in line with the ears. Exhale, draw that lower belly in. Inhale, expand into the chest. And exhale, dive into that forward fold. Inhale, sitting back into your chair one last time. Lifting the heart. Exhale, really sitting nice and deep. Feel those leg muscles begin to activate. Inhale here. Exhale, dive into your forward fold. And just wiggle out those legs. Maybe swaying out the body too, side to side. Nice and heavy in that upper body. And when you're ready, coming to stillness in the center. Gently, gently. And as you inhale, coming to a sort of halfway lift. So shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, drawing the lower belly. As you inhale, you can either bring your arms in line with ears or to your hips. And gently push through the heels, keeping the chin tucked, coming up to standing. Lovely. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of standing work now. So, we're going to do warrior one. So, from your nice hip distance apart, your Tadasana, palms facing forwards, broad across the chest. We inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center, lifting the left foot and placing it a nice comfortably wide distance behind you. Now your hips in warrior one. You don't want to shove them towards the front of the mat. You want to feel where they are comfortable for you to have your hips, okay? You can widen your stance east to west if that's more comfortable for you as well. And as we inhale, bring the arms up overhead and gently bend into that front knee. As you exhale, bring the hands back down and straighten that front leg. Inhale, bend into that front knee, warrior one, bring the arms up overhead, shoulders relax down. Exhale, bring the arms back down, straighten that front leg. One more time, inhale, bending into that front knee, arms overhead. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So, making sure the energy is pushing down into that back heel. Feel the muscles engage in the outside of that back leg. Your ribs want to be anchored down. If you feel like they're flaring and you're bending that back, just bring the body straight. Draw those ribs down. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And one more breath here, expanding into the chest on the inhale. Drawing that lower belly in on the exhale. And as you inhale, gently coming out of the pose. And exhale to bring the arms back down to the sides. Okay, we're going to take pyramid pose. Inhale, arms up overhead. The feet stay exactly where they are. As you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Draw the lower belly in and hinge from the hips. Reaching through the crown of the head. A gentle bend in that front knee, not locking that knee out. Inhale, pushing through both heels. Stand all the way back up. Exhale, drawing that lower belly, hinge from the hips, reaching that head forward. Halfway, inhale, pushing through the heels to stand all the way back up. And again, we exhale, drawing the lower belly, hinge at the hips. This time you can release the hands, maybe to the shin, maybe to the floor. Wherever is comfortable for you, for your back. Making sure we're not rounding that back. Keeping straight through the back. Pushing down through the outside of that back leg. If your stance feels a little bit too wide, just walk in that back leg a little bit. Take your right hand to your right hip crease and just gently draw that right hip back. And that will create a bit more space for you to allow that forward fold to be a little bit deeper. Keeping that gentle micro bend in that front knee. And breathe here. and active. And as you inhale, reach through the crown of the head, pushing down through both heels. Shoulders down away from the ears. The chin is gently tucked in. We come all the way to standing. As we exhale, step forward with that back foot to meet the front foot. Remember those feet are hip distance apart. And just notice the difference between those two legs now. You might notice the difference in energy in your legs. You might notice one leg feels like spaghetti and one leg feels more like, I don't know, well, like uncooked spaghetti. Okay, so we're going to come onto the other side now, do the other leg, create a little bit of balance there. So on an inhale, bring the arms up overhead. As we exhale, draw in that lower belly, bring a hand to the heart, lift that right foot and step at a nice comfortable wide distance behind you. Again with those hips, we're not shoving them towards the front, but we're encouraging them towards the front. As we inhale, bring the arms up overhead and bend into that front knee. One thing I forgot to mention on the other side is make sure that knee is tracking that middle toe and it's not going over the front of the toes. You want a nice 90 degree angle with that lower leg on the floor. As you exhale, bring yourself gently out of the pose. Inhale, bend the knee, arms up overhead, pushing down into the outside of that back leg. And exhale, bring yourself gently up and the arms down. Inhale, arms up overhead, gently bending into that front knee. We'll be here for a few breaths. Remember, anchor those ribs down. Don't let your back flare and those ribs flare. Pushing down through the outside of that back leg. Feel the muscles engage in that back leg. Lifting the inner arch of the back foot even. Breathing, expanding into the chest on the inhale. Drawing in that lower belly on the exhale. One more breath here. And as you exhale, gently come out of the pose. If you feel like you need to shorten the stance a little bit, just gently hop that back foot in. We're going to come into pyramid pose. So as we inhale, bring the arms up overhead. As you exhale, either arms in line with the ears or at your hips, coming halfway, drawing that lower belly, hinging at the hips. Inhale, pushing down through the heels to stand all the way back up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, drawing in the lower belly, reaching through the crown of the head, halfway. Inhale, back up. And again, exhale, hinge at the hips, drawing the lower belly. This time, let that fold continue, coming all the way, either to the shins, that front shin, or down to the floor. Taking that left hand to the left hip crease, gently guiding that left hip back. Gentle microbend in that left leg, that front leg. As you inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, allow the torso to come towards the front thigh, that left thigh. Staying strong through that back leg. Feel that energy down the back of that back leg. Send the breath into the back of the front leg, the back of the body. Allow the face to relax, the forehead to relax, the jaw to relax. As you exhale, draw in the belly. Inhale, bringing the hands to the hips. Exhale to draw in the belly. Inhale, pushing down into both legs. Feeling that energy, that strength as we come back up to standing. As you exhale, bring that back foot to meet the front foot. Hip distance apart, feet, toes spread nice and wide. And again, just in our Tadasana, just feeling any shifts, any changes. What do you notice about your body, about your breath, about your mind right now? Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come into a balance. We're going to do tree pose. So if you feel a little bit unsteady, either find a wall or a sturdy chair, something you can hold on to. Please, whatever you do, don't fall over. Okay. So when we are balancing, we really want to root down into the earth so that we can rise up. Okay. So we'll start with our left leg, just tapping that left leg, waking it up, telling it that it's going to be used right now. All right. Spreading the toes on the left foot nice and wide. Lifting through the left leg. Maybe even lifting the toes up off the floor. Feel how that turns on your quad there. And keeping that engagement in the quad, allow the toes to relax back down to the floor. Drawing up through the front of the body. And feel the back of the body drawing down, rooting down into the earth. On your next inhale, shift the weight onto the left foot. Don't allow the hip to pop out. Keep drawing up through that left side of the body. And with that right foot, either placing it at the ankle, at the shin below the knee, or up onto the thigh. If you have it on the thigh there, really press into the thigh with the foot. If you fall out of it, do not worry. Press into the thigh with the foot and press back with that left thigh. Lovely. So I'm watching myself on the screen and it's moving, so it's very difficult to balance when the thing you are looking at is moving. So focus on something in front of you that isn't moving. Draw up through the front of the body. Bring your attention to your breath. Expand into the chest with the inhale, and as you exhale, draw that belly in, strong in the core. Always good for your balance. Make sure you haven't locked out that standing knee. Gentle microbend there, just protecting that knee joint. If you're steady and comfortable, bring your hands to your heart center. And we'll just take 2 more breaths here. Keep drawing up through the spine. And on your next exhale, gently release the foot. And just shake out that left leg. Quite a long time to be standing on it. Lovely. Okay. So we'll just waken up the right leg now. So just tapping that right thigh. And then spreading the toes of the right foot wide. Lifting that inner arch. Drawing up through that right leg. Maybe lifting the toes, feeling the quad activate. And then gently placing the toes back down on the floor. Feeling that rooting down through the back of the body and that drawing up through the front of the body. As you inhale, shift the weight onto that right leg without slipping that hip off to the side. Keeping strong, keeping integrity in that standing leg. And then bring the left leg either to the ankle, below the knee on the calf. Please do not place your foot on your knee. Very bad for your knee joint. If you want to bring that foot all the way up to the thigh, again, pushing into the thigh with the foot and pushing back with that standing thigh. So we're strong in this tree. My trees don't like me tonight. Don't worry about it. If you feel like you can't balance and it's just not happening for you, bring that foot all the way down and just gently rest the big toe on the floor. Keep that integrity through that right leg. Keep drawing up through the body, through the spine. It's doing exactly the same thing as having your leg all the way up here. So wherever you are, breathe. If you're feeling really steady in this pose, bring your arms up and gently, like the trees, maybe waving, playing with that balance, playing with that strength in your core. Maybe just bringing your hands out to the sides. Wherever you want to place your hands, go for it. Keeping strong in that standing leg, pushing into the thigh if that's where you are with that left foot. Drawing up through the front of the body. I'm going to stay here. Lovely. Staying strong, we have 2 more breaths. And on your next exhale, releasing that left foot down to the floor and just shaking out that right leg. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay. We're going to come down to the floor now. So facing the front of your mat again, or the front of your towel, whatever you're practicing on. We're going to come into a malasana squat. So what you want to do is just place the feet about the distance of the mat apart, maybe a little bit closer. Kind of depends on your body as to how wide apart you want your feet. You want to turn those feet out a little bit. And as we inhale, we bring the arms up overhead. Anchoring those ribs down so we're not flaring those ribs. Inhale here. As you exhale, begin to bend the knees, bringing the hands down through center. And keep that going all the way down so that your elbows come to the insides of the knees. If you can't get here, totally fine. Come halfway to a halfway squat. Just keep that length in the back. Try not to let the back round. Wherever you are, keep that length in the back. Keep that heart lifted and proud. If you're in the full squat, the full expression of the squat, just gently feeling that pushing into the knees with the elbows and back with the knees into the elbows. So you feel that strength in the lower body and the upper body. That heart is lifted. The back is long. You're reaching through the crown of the head. And breathe here. If the heels aren't down to the floor, that's fine. Maybe just placing them on the cushion that you were sitting on a bit earlier. If you want to place the cushion under your bum, go for that. Find a position for your body that feels good. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. So maybe just gently close the eyes and focus on the breath. Focus on that expansion on the inhale. Lifting that heart, lengthening through the crown of the head. Drawing in that belly on the exhale. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, placing those hands in front of you, shifting the weight forward a little bit, and just gently releasing out of that squat. Just moving side to side, just feeling into the hips, feeling into the lower back. It's quite a big hip opener, that one. Lovely. And making your way down to a seated position. So we want our legs out in front of us. So our feet are flexed, the toes are coming towards the shins. Imagine you're pushing your feet against a wall here. If you have very tight hamstrings, just invite you to sit up on a cushion. Maybe not on a bolster, might be a little bit too high, but if you've got a flattish cushion. And also just bend those knees a little bit, just giving those hamstrings a bit of a break. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, rooting down into those sit bones, those 2 little bones there, under the bottom. Growing up through the spine, from the base of the spine, all the way up through the mid-back, feeling into that space between the shoulder blades. Roll the shoulders up to the ears on an inhale. And on your exhale, roll those shoulders back down the spine. Lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. The neck is long. The chin is gently tucked. Not like this. Not double chinning it. Just so that our head and neck is in line with the spine. And then just bringing the hands down to your sides. So your hands might rest on the floor. They might be way off the floor. They might be all the way down to the floor. Wherever you are, make sure the back hasn't done this. We want to be tall and proud through the back. Dandasana, staff pose. Pushing into that imaginary wall with your feet so you're active through the legs, even if the knees are bent. One of the strongest poses we have in yoga, staff pose. Breathe, expanding into the chest on the inhale, sending that breath into the lower ribs. And as you exhale, drawing that lower belly, integrity in the core. Two more breaths here. long and strong through the back, pushing through those heels. And on your next exhale, just gently rolling the legs out side to side, releasing that pose, feeling the softness after the strength. Okay, I'm going to come into our bound angle pose now. We're going to do reclined bound angle. So the soles of the feet want to come together. The knees, allow the knees to fall out to the sides. And stay in this direction, so long on your mat. I'm going to place the hands behind you, fingertips pointing forwards. Take a nice inhale, lift the heart. And as you exhale, bend into the elbows and just gently rolling down onto your mat. Nice and gently coming all the way down to the floor. So you want to keep that gentle, natural arch in the lower back. You should be able to just gently slide your hands underneath that lower back. So we're not pushing that lower back into the floor. With the shoulders, we want to relax those shoulders down away from the ears. Nestle those shoulder blades into the ground. Get comfy. The knees are falling out to the sides. And the hands can either be down at your sides with the palms facing up, or you can bring them up overhead onto the floor, above your head, and just gently holding the opposite elbow with each hand. Wherever you are, make sure the neck is still long. We're not jutting the chin up. It's just gently tucked so the neck is in line with the spine. And when you're in a position where you feel this is where you want to be, that's the position you want to be in today, wherever that is, whether it's the full expression here, whether your hands are down by your sides, whether you're more comfortable placing your hands on your hips, wherever you are, bring your attention back to your breath. Gently breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. In through the nose, filling the lungs, filling the belly, and sighing out through the mouth gently. In through the nose, filling the chest and belly. And exhaling out through the mouth. And continue breathing in that way. Have 5 more breaths in your own time. Feel the back of the body connecting down into the earth, absorbing the energy from the earth, connecting to the energy and the power of the universe. As you inhale, breathe in that energy, that life force, that prana. And as you exhale, just release any feelings of tension, of holding, anything you're holding on to. As you inhale, send that life force energy to any place in your body where you still feel a sense of tension. Any subtle thoughts or memories or emotions that you're attached to, that are holding in any part of your body. Just shine a light of awareness on them with your inhale. And as you exhale, allow your body to let go of whatever it is that it's holding on to. You're in a safe place. Allow your body to surrender. Allow yourself to be supported by the earth, by the nourishing energy of the earth. And bringing your hands to heart center, one hand on top of the other. Feel that nourishing energy move into your heart space. And feel your heart begin to fill with a gentle warmth and light. On your next exhale, send that light and warmth all throughout your body, down to the tips of your toes, the tips of your fingers, and up to the crown of your head. So your whole body is radiating with light and warmth. That life force energy. And breathe. When you're ready, in your own time, bring your hands to the outside of the thighs. Take an inhale. Exhale to draw in the lower belly. And as you inhale, gently, gently, gently draw the knees together, using the hands to help you. And placing the soles of the feet back down onto the earth. When you're ready, extend the legs out long. And we'll finish in Shavasana. So allow the back of the body to be in contact with the earth. Bring your awareness back to your gentle breath, your natural, spontaneous breath. gently close your eyes or just maintain a gentle gaze on the ceiling above you. Allow the shoulder blades to nestle into the earth. Feel the backs of the legs in contact with the earth, and the backs of the arms and the backs of the hands resting down into the support of the floor or the earth. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the stillness of the breath, the gentleness of the breath. Notice how different your breath is now to when you started practice. Try not to control your breath here, but to just allow the inhale to enter and the exhale to gently leave the body. And notice how relaxed your body and your mind have become. Enjoy a few moments of stillness and silence here. And just focus on the inhale and the exhale of the breath. Feel the body heavy on the earth. When you're ready in your own time, gently begin to move the fingers and the toes. Bring the knees up to bending, placing the feet flat on the floor. And then gently draw the knees in towards the chest. Give the knees a little bit of a hug. And then gently place the feet back on the floor. As we did at the beginning, stretch the arms out wide. And just allow the knees to fall to one side on an exhale. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Exhale, allow the knees to fall gently to the other side. Inhale, bring those knees back to center. And again, over to the first side. Feeling that release in the lower back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the other side. And inhale, back to center. Now gently roll onto the right side, bringing the knees towards the chest. Bringing the hands to rest gently together. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale. And as we come from Shavasana, from corpse pose, into the fetal position here, we just remember that every moment, every breath is a chance to be reborn, to begin again with a new perspective. When you're ready, gently pressing into the left hand to bring you up to a seated position. Your eyes can remain gently closed, or just maintain a soft gaze in front of you. Rooting down through the sit bones. Reaching up through the crown of the head. The spine is long. The shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. Bring the hands up overhead. And bring them together and down to the third eye between the eyebrows, where we just invite in clarity of thought as we move through the rest of our day. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring the thumbs to the throat and the fingertips to the lips, where we just ask for the ability to speak kind words to ourselves and to all those we come into contact with. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And remember your innate ability to approach yourself and others with love, with understanding, and with compassion. Take an inhale. And we'll just chant together 3 times Om, just to seal our practice. Exhale fully. Inhale to prepare, lengthening through the spine. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me for practice tonight. Any comments or questions, please feel free to email me at spinningarrowyoga@gmail.com or find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spinning Arrow Yoga. I'm on all of them. I'm a little bit more active on some than others. Facebook is my preferred. So I hope you enjoyed practice tonight. I hope your mind, body and soul feel a little more soothed. I hope you will join me again tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. Bye bye, everybody.